everyone, delonewolf here and welcome to Dodixie, the Galente Trade Hub. And in this episode I'm going to take a look at my margin for the Talos, because I made one and I'm trying to sell it at the moment, and it looks like it actually might already have sold. So what actually happened was I had already recorded everything I wanted, but I forgot that the shortcut key on Fraps is actually one that I also use in the calculator. So yeah, the recording was a little bit botched and I'm going to have to do it all over again now. I tried to sell a Talos, so do I already have it back here? Transaction, yep, 79.7 million sold a Talos, which is around the price right here in Dodixie. And of course what I wanted to do was check out my margins, because I always say that the more I research my BPO, the better my margins become and the more profit I make. But it's been quite a long time, even for myself as well, that I've actually checked out what the margins actually are. So in order to help me with that, I did take the blueprint copy with me, and then you can see it's only at level 25. My BPO is actually already a bit higher than that. And I can check out the bill of materials: 1861 megasite, 324,000 mexalon, 20,000 oxium, almost 1 million pyrite, 4.3 million tritanium, and 3,800 zydrine is what it cost me with this blueprint copy to create a single Talos. And we know that I can sell it because I just sold it in less than 5 minutes for 79.7 million. And so in order to check out the actual margins between the minerals and the Talos, and then between what I actually have to spend and the Talos, we have to look at all the market details. For instance, for the megasite and the noxium and the pyrite, which are the ones that I still have to buy. Now I checked them out already before, so I'm not going to go through all those details, but I'll just tell you what the end numbers are per mineral. For megasite, 4.1 million in cost, noxium 11.9 million, and zydrine 2.8 million, for a total of 18 million ISK in minerals that I can't mine myself. Keep in mind that these are all dependent. I use the sell order prices, so if you use buy orders you can still eke in a little bit more profit, but really we're talking about 75 ISK on megasite, 30 ISK on noxium, and 10 ISK on zydrine, so that's really not going to make that much of a difference. And that's 18 million to produce one Talos. Now for the other three, mexalon, pyrite and tritanium, there's no isogen in there. I came with a total of 19.8 million in mexalon, 12 million in pyrite and 25.6 million in tritanium, for a total of 57.4 million, putting my mineral value of a Talos at 75.4 million. Meaning that on the Talos that I just sold, I had a margin of, I have to check it out here quickly, 79.7 minus 75.4, that's 4.3 million ISK in margin just for producing the Talos. Now keep in mind, I mine my own minerals, so the tritanium, pyrite and mexalon, those I mine myself, and you can view it in some way that's not necessarily a cost. I know it costs time, and mine minerals are not free, I know all of that, but it's a part of my production margin in a way, I guess, and that's another 57 million ISK that I don't have to spend in order to make those Taloses, but I can just invest time in creating those Talos. So I think that's pretty decent. In the end, all I have to do is buy 18 million in high-end minerals, and I can make 80 million from one Talos, and the margin itself is 4 million. So that's maybe 5% of the price of a Talos, a 5% margin just for doing research up to 25, and and with BPCs and the investment of 1 BPO, I don't think that's too bad. I do need to sell quite a lot of Taloses to earn it back. But yeah, that's what we're looking at the moment. Now, what I think is pretty important to remember is that these low-end minerals make up around, what would that be, 75% of the price of the Talos. And of course, because those low-end minerals, we're talking 4.3 million titanium, almost a million pyrite, your research of the BPO will have the most impact on those minerals. And because they are, of course, also 75% of the price in order to make a Talos, your research is really going to increase your margins pretty significantly if you can keep it up. Of course, the longer you go, going from 0 to 25 is going to mean a lot better, a far greater increase in margin than going from 75 to 100. But yeah, knowing that there's this 4.3 million titanium and 1 million pyrite in there, those are going to decrease the most from your research, and they also have a pretty large impact on the price. Of 25 million ISK in titanium is not nothing on a 80 million ship. So yeah, those are the margins, you know, basically just for producing around 5%. And 75% of the price of the ship I mine myself. So I think that's pretty good for a miner / industrialist. On this new BPO, I can imagine that on some of the older ships like the Drake and stuff, margins will be a lot lower, because there will be people with perfectly researched BPOs that can decrease their margin to the max, of course, compared to what you can if you're completely new to those markets where people already have the completely researched BPOs. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting reminder for myself. It's a lot of calculations and stuff. It's not for everybody, but that's why Eve is also known as Excel Online sometimes. It's a part of the trading and industrial game style for sure. And there is one more thing that I think is pretty interesting. I checked it out with relogging just a moment ago. The Talos actually goes for 81.5 million in JITA. So that's almost 2 million in difference. That means that if I make a significant amount of them, it definitely becomes economical to move them all to JITA and sell them over there. How many runs do I have left on this one? I can still make 8 Taloses. I can put all of these in the obelisk, so one trip in JITA can mean an extra 16 million ISK from these Taloses, and those 2 million can also simply be added to that margin that is at the moment around 4 million. So from 4 to 6 million, that's a 50% increase in the margin, meaning going around 5 to 7.5% margin just for having a researched BPO of the Talos. I don't think that's too bad, you know. I'm not that active in industry and stuff, but I find this pretty interesting, and I hope you find it interesting as well, and that this might help some people that want to start out in industrial activities to check it out for themselves. Anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you all next time.